Here's a scary story set in Abubumu village. The legend of the Abubumu witch. In the small village of Abubumu, nestled in the heart of Uganda, there lived a legendary witch named Nanziri. She was said to possess powers beyond the understanding of mortal men, and her name was whispered in terror by the villagers. Nanziri lived in a small hut on the outskirts of the village, surrounded by a thick forest that seemed to writhe and twist in the flickering moonlight. The villagers avoided her hut, fearing that they would be cursed if they dared to approach. One dark and stormy night, a young man named Sula decided to test the legend of Nanziri. He had always been skeptical of the village's superstitions, and he saw the witch's hut as the perfect opportunity to prove his bravery. As Sula approached the hut, the wind howled and the trees creaked ominously. He pushed open the creaky door and stepped inside, calling out to Nanziri. But there was no answer. Instead, Sula heard a faint whispering in his ear, a soft, raspy voice that seemed to come from all around him. The voice spoke in a language he couldn't understand, but the words sent shivers down his spine. Suddenly, the hut was filled with a blinding light, and Sula felt himself being lifted off the ground. He tried to scream, but his voice was frozen in his throat. The next morning, the villagers found Sula's lifeless body outside Nanziri's hut, his eyes frozen in a permanent scream. From that day on, the villagers avoided the hut even more fervently, whispering stories of Sula's fate and the curse of the Abubumu witch. Years later, travelers would report seeing Sula's ghostly figure, wandering the village at night, his eyes frozen in that same permanent scream. And the villagers would nod in terror, knowing that the legend of Nanziri lived on, a cautionary tale about the dangers of meddling with forces beyond human understanding.